Welcome to This Magical Life, where we explore Druidry, mindfulness, and the magic of living. I'm your host, Philip Carr-Gomm. Hello. Welcome. It's lovely to see you and to be with you here. There's this feeling that we're together and that we can see each other, gradually coming into the circle, into the sacred grove together. Just check in with yourself, see if you can get one word for how you're feeling. Every day is different, and it's been beautiful weather, and life is very rich, despite all the sadnesses and difficulties in the world. Life is very rich, and I'm feeling very grateful for that. And Stephanie and I have been having a very busy time. We were at the wonderful Stonehenge exhibition at the British Museum, and while we were there, we came across a book in the bookshop, The Druid Path, A Modern Tradition of Nature Spirituality by John Michael Greer. And many of you may know John Michael Greer. He's a wonderful author. He and I have followed the same sort of trajectory in as much as we were both running large Druid groups, and we have retired and handed on our positions to women. Myself to Emma Burke in Ireland, and John Michael Greer over to Donna Driscoll. It's a beautiful little book. We've got it now in the Obod store. I just wanted to give you a flavor of it. John Michael Greer has a way of writing very clearly and directly. Just a couple of quotes to give you a feel for it. It's a lovely book, even if you're quite far along on the path, to give it as a gift to somebody, perhaps, to introduce Druidry to them. Some religions and some spiritual paths gain new members by conversion, but I've never known anyone who converted to Druidry. What happens instead is that people realize that they have been Druids all along. Some people find out about Druidry by reading a book or website or by talking to a Druid and then say, that's what I've always felt like. I just didn't know that there was a word for it. Others find Druidry in some similar way, decide that it seems interesting and experiment with it a little at a time. A ritual here, a meditation there, some time spent outdoors. And notice after a while that these practices add something to their lives that makes a difference to them. And then another little bit that I like here. Above all, Druidry is an orientation, a way of attending to the spiritual in natural things, of envisioning humanity as part of living nature, and of living life in relationship to the biosphere and the spiritual presences within the natural world. Each Druid expresses that orientation in a personal way. Books, teachers, and organizations can help you find your way in Druidry. That is the purpose of this book. But your own experiences and ideas are also important. If you're looking for someone to tell you what to do, Druidry is probably not a good fit for you. And if you want to tell other people what to do, then you really need to find some other option, because Druids are an independent-minded lot and will roll their eyes and walk away if you try to order them around. I wanted to talk about a particular idea. I was at a launch at the weekend for a project that I'm involved in. I've been involved for the past few years in a very exciting work that is really at the cutting edge of psychological healing at the moment, which is the use particularly of psilocybin in depression. And this isn't the same thing as condoning the use of drug taking. I've got to be absolutely clear about that. If you're not familiar with this revolution, if you Google the revolution in psychiatric medicine, then you'll find that. So I've been working with a group of people who are on the Imperial College trials in London for people with treatment-resistant depression, because one of the things they've found is that psilocybin can be extraordinarily helpful in that. But combined with psychotherapy, combined with integrative work. So I'm involved in a project of integration. It's very interesting, working with trees and with the Wheel of the Year. I've been brought into the team to specifically work with the Wheel of the Year in relation to developing mental health and for helping with the treatment of depression. For the last 2 years, I've been working in this field. And so I've been thinking a lot about Druidry and mental health. And those of us in the Druid community know of the value to mental health of Druidry simply anecdotally by seeing the evidence within ourselves and within those people in the community who find their mental well-being is helped by their practice. But it's just in the last 2 years that I've started to really turn my attention to it, specifically in terms of depression, but also in terms of mental well-being in general. And one of the ways we work with Druidry is by taking ideas, just mulling them over, researching them and studying them in the way that you would in a standard academic way, if you like, but then allowing those ideas to steep in the cauldron under the light of the moon. I'm speaking metaphorically here. And then the light of Arwen, of inspiration, can come in. And then sometimes those ideas that you've been studying in a conventional way can express themselves in a specific way that is very evocative and makes it easy to remember as well. And one of the ways we use is the triads, these threefold wisdom sayings, some of which we've inherited from tradition, but which we can also create ourselves and receive ourselves. So 3 ways Druidry can help ease sorrow: through opening our souls to the cradling of time and the nourishment of place, and through welcoming us home to our true nature and the family of all being. So what triads do is they take they present you with trios of ideas. So the first idea is that we can ease sorrow by opening our souls to the cradling of time. Now, what does that mean? Well, when I was thinking of this just now, just before coming on air, I thought of the Cat's Cradle. You know, that thing where you put pieces of string, and they probably don't do it anymore at schools, people playing with making shapes. And I found this in Wikipedia. The Cat's Cradle, the versions of this game have been found in indigenous cultures throughout the world, including in Africa, Eastern Asia, the Pacific Islands, Australia, the Americas, and the Arctic, and of course Europe as well. So this cradle, this wonderful cradle, which is just little bits of string, there's this sort of universal idea of making a cradle. And what I mean by the cradling of time, 2 ways it occurs to me that Druidry can help us with feelings of sorrow, depression, and unhappiness. And one is through our observance of the 8-fold wheel of the year, where every 6 weeks we have a festival which allows us and encourages us to come out of ourselves and to connect with the moment of time we're in. In this idea, you have this understanding that by having every few weeks a special ceremony or a special time where you recognize the time of the year means you're flowing in rhythm with the seasons. You're coming out of yourself or coming more into yourself in a way of getting back in touch with the rhythm of the seasons. And you're not just looking ahead to time stretching out before you with perhaps one marker, Christmas, or the time when I'm going to have my holiday in Spain in 3 months' time or whatever. Those people who suffer from addiction or depression are familiar with the idea of taking one day at a time. And this, in a way, is an extension of the idea of taking things one day at a time. If you're having difficulty facing the dread of time stretching out before you, just take heart in the fact if you can just get through to the next festival. Here we are at Beltane. The next festival is the summer solstice, June the 22nd, 23rd. We just make it to there, and then we open ourselves to the power of the solstice. And then when we're through that, we move towards the next festival, Lunasa. No need to look any further. So that's one way that we're cradled by time, these 8 strings of the cat's cradle holding our souls. There's another way too, which is that time can be a healer, and changing our relationship to time. One of the ways that therapy can help, one of the ways that, for instance, psilocybin therapy can help, having experiences of timelessness, of reorienting ourselves to the experience of time. We can have this also in meditation, and we can have it through psychotherapy too, is changing our relationship to time so that gradually, instead of it being a burden, it becomes a gift for us. One of the things that perhaps we notice as we get older is we can look back on those difficult times and we can see how, yeah, that was a pretty awful time we went through, but we've got through it. So it's another gift of deepening our relationship with time. But it goes even further than that, because the thing about spirituality in general, and Druidry indeed, is that spirituality invites you into considerations of eternity, into considerations that there is more to our experience of time than the mundane ticking of the clock. That's what, after all, divination does for us. That's what all these ideas of seeing into the future, seeing into the past, even in a kind of psychological technology like sophrology, which interests me very much, which is a form of enhanced mindfulness that I do. We have a way of projecting into the future, projecting back into the past. In Druidry, we do it too. We have rituals where we work with the future and with the past. And once you start to experience the kind of malleable nature of time, you realize that far from it being a kind of prison that you have to endure, it's actually more like a series of gateways that you can travel through. When life gets very busy and stressful, you're just hurtling forward in time. Oh my God, it's Thursday and I still haven't done what I was supposed to do on Tuesday. And you're hurtling down the helter-skelter. And the seasonal festivals help us to reorient. I can already feel time speeding up. I'll tell you what I'm feeling now. I'm feeling, gosh, I was feeling really calm. There was this simple, elegant triad I was going to share with you. And now look how much is in there. We've just opened up the first of the 3 elements of this triad, and already it's like there's too much. And we've only just started to unpick, opening ourselves to the cradling of time. And the nourishment of place. We all know how, when we're feeling stressed or depressed, going out into nature can make a huge difference, and connecting with our place, where we live, where the ground under our feet, can be incredibly nurturing. And part of the cause of so much mental distress can come from a kind of alienation from place, a separation from our sense of place. And developing a sense of place becomes hugely important, and we can foster it not only by simply connecting with where we are, but also paradoxically by going away. Hence the power of pilgrimage and the way pilgrimage is used in all spiritual traditions. It's because making journeys and then arriving at special places and then returning home and feeling the difference can make this huge difference. That's when we open to the nourishment of place. So just sitting on a patch of ground, going out into the park, sitting in the garden, sitting at home, and just saying, may I open my soul to the nourishment of place, this particular place. And then that starts to unpack itself. And it can unpack itself in so many ways. It can unpack itself in the history of the place, in the kind of stories and life that's unfolding in this place. It can unpack itself in the simple knowledge of the reality of what's actually happening where you are. I was reading an article by George Monbiot a couple of days ago about the soil. And there's this fantastic opening paragraph where he talks about the life, cubic meter of soil beneath you that you're sitting on. And it's hundreds of thousands of little creatures and stuff going on and life being lived and all the rest of it. So again, opening to that nourishment of place. So 2 ways that Druidry can help ease sorrow. And then the third point of the triad, through welcoming us home to our true nature and the family of all being. So caught up in that idea is the idea of the spiritual quest for self-knowledge that we all know about and all spiritualities encourage us to do, centering ourselves, coming back to a sense of self, because again, feeling crazy often comes from just feeling drawn out of ourselves, so we don't even know who we are anymore. So lots of work in spiritual traditions, including Druidry, are about coming back to sense our true nature. And when we get to our true nature, we don't find we're on our own. That's the interesting thing. We can say, I want to be alone. And of course we do. We need me time and we need alone time. We need retreats. We need time when we're on our own. But the mystical experience is that when you're truly on your own and you come back to your true nature, the door flings open and you're with everybody. You're with all of life. You're with all the trees, and with all the stars, and with all the creatures on earth. So you're welcomed back into the family of all being. And so the fear of being alone, the attempt of the psyche to keep at bay this quest to the heart of the self because of a fear of being alone, is of course an illusion or a counterproductive act. Because actually, if you allow it, you come to a sense of being in touch with all being. So let's do that now. Let's be in touch with all being. Even though we're sitting, probably most of us, on our own in front of our screens, we're sitting in front of computers or tablets or phones or whatever. Let's recognize that fact, honor the fact that we're sitting where we are. We're nourished by time, the time of day it is, the time of evening. Or if you're watching the recording, it could be any time, of course. Nourishment of time and of place. Just sitting here, just allowing ourselves to settle into a sense of place is in itself nourishing because it allows ourselves to calm down and slow down. And then you might like to close your eyes and allow yourself to enter the imaginal world, where you're coming into a forest clearing, or perhaps you are already in the forest clearing, or you're coming into it, into the sacred grove. And you're finding yourself seated in this clearing. And close your inner eyes for the moment and just feel yourself in this forest clearing. Maybe place the palms of your hands on the ground beneath you and feel the soil beneath you. Breathe in deeply, hold for a moment, then breathe out fully. And you might be able to smell the earth beneath you and sense the life in the earth now, all the thousands and thousands of creatures in that soil, the little microbes and the worms and the little bugs, all that moisture and the minerals, all that life in the soil, and it's energizing you. You can feel how, on the one hand, it's calming you because you're just breathing into a sense of being seated on the soil, but you're also being energized by this feeling. And you can sense the roots of the trees around you in the soil now too. And they're all connected. You can feel them connected. You can sense the mycelium, all the little mushrooms and the little filaments that are connecting everything together in the soil. So all the plants are one family in dialogue, in just talking and being together. And you sense now the trees around you, and you move your awareness up from the soil to the trees around you and sense this family of being around you, this family of trees. And you're not separate from this family. You're sitting here and you're not a tree, but you almost could be one because you feel so comfortable with them. They're your brothers and sisters. And you feel their love for you, and it's mysterious. You feel their love for you and you feel their love for them. Breathing in and breathing out, and sensing the trunks going up now and the branches of the trees, the boughs of the trees and the green leaves. The green leaves are all fresh with that kind of yellowy green of new growth that you get at this time of the year in May. And then the energy of the sky. And you breathe in the energy of the sky. And as you breathe in, you feel the energy of the sky flowing down into you. And the energy of the sky meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And you sense now there are your fellows, your fellow travelers and spiritual companions with you in the sacred grove. And even without opening your inner eyes, you just stretch out your arms to either side of you, and you take a hand in your left hand and your right hand, so you feel connected to this circle of being. And you sense the animals really close too. Perhaps there are squirrels on the branches. Just creatures coming close, foxes and badgers, creatures of the forest. Just attracted by the feeling of peace and of calm. And we just allow ourselves to feel our love for the earth, for all species. Just without defining it, probably it's the easiest way. Just feel it in your heart and in your energy field, and just allow it to flow through you, to flow through the circle, and just all through the sacred grove. So you feel that this whole spot just flowing with love and with energy and with a sense of calm. And if you need to absorb it, if you're feeling tired or sad and you want to be receptive, you can do that. It's perfectly acceptable just to even lie on the ground now if you want to. You can let go of the hands that you're holding to either side. You can lie on the ground, and you can place the palms of your hands on the ground, and you can just soak in all the energy. You can just allow yourself to be fed and nourished by this energy and by this love. This balanced energy of earth and sky. The blessings of the trees. If you're feeling in a kind of emissive, active mode, you don't have to do that. You can be sitting up. You can be holding hands, or you can be putting your hands on the earth. Just do what you like. And just let the energy flow through you and out into the world. In a minute, we'll come together But now, you remember that quote I read about Druids being independent creatures? What we do in ceremonies in Stonehenge sometimes is we have a few minutes where we just let people do what they want to do. Some people go and hug stones, some people lie on the ground, some people sit cross-legged and meditate. And we just do that for a little while, and then we all come together in unity and connect again. So just for a few moments, we'll sit inside and just do what you want to do. Sit with a tree, and then, yeah, just go with it. Go for it. Okay. So gradually come together now. Let's come together. Just all standing up and all holding hands in a circle. In Druid ceremonies, when we come to the end of a ceremony, we stand in a circle, we hold hands and we say, "We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this, our sacred vow." And we just sense that solidarity and that feeling of being in a community together, holding hands. Trees around us, the spirits around us and with us too. And then you let go of the hands to either side of you and kneel down and put the palms of your hands on the earth. Send that love to the earth. May the earth be blessed. May the land be blessed. May our lives be blessed. And then you sitting down, you bring your hands up to your heart, hands on the heart, feeling the warmth of your hands. And you can do that physically now, feeling your hands on your heart as you gradually allow your sense of being in the sacred grove to fade. And you become aware of being seated in front of your computer or your tablet or your phone, fully present here and now. Taking a deep breath, and then when you feel ready, you open your eyes. And then maybe to ground, to be present, maybe just type in what you felt moved to do. Did you lie on the ground? Did you hold hands with people? Did you sit with a tree? Just if you feel like it, it maybe helps you to come back and to ground. If we are mature enough and adult enough to allow people to express themselves individually, as we see in this exercise here, we can have times where it's more boundaried and contained, and then other times where there's freedom. Okay. Thank you so much for coming. So lots of love, many blessings, and have a very good week.